Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autobots and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey.
I'm your other host, Mara.
One of these episodes is fairly infamous, and the other one is kind of not much, but deeply evil.
Yeah. Speaking of deeply evil, congrats for defeating the evil Italian pervert this past week.
My god, it has never felt so hot to be a New Yorker. I'm not gonna lie. Like there is like genuinely something extremely powerful about the thought that my individual vote might influence national and global politics for the next several decades.
I've never been more jealous of New York City. To this week of all weeks, it truly is the greatest city in the world. And this is
love the Mets, baby.
The greatest show.
And that's because it's Queens, and because Bronx voted for fucking Cuomo.
That's right.
Fuck the Yankees. Love the Mets. I mean, not to like dox myself, but Mom Donnie has been my assemblyman for 3 years.
You knew him before he was cool.
I mean, he has represented me before, and I am happy to have him represent me again, and I voted for him. Yeah, I live in the AOC Mom Donnie district. It's like genuinely very funny, the district that I live in. That's just like all the DSA guys. But hey, we're here.
We're here. And you know what else is here? In a prime problem. A giant hole in the ground that has just popped up. For no reason. It just sort of happens. Like the episode starts, big earthquake exposes a bunch of crazy looking crystals, and the Decepticons are there to investigate. And Megatron tells Soundwave to send in an auto scout. And this is a special guy we haven't seen before. What do you think about the auto scout?
Honestly, like, didn't really register for me.
Well, it's just funny that, like, you know, we're so familiar with his usual cadre of various Cassetticons that he apparently just has this as well for, like, drone operations. And
he chooses to endanger his children.
Well, no, he doesn't, because he doesn't send Ravager Laserbeak down there.
No, I mean, whenever he does send them, he's making the conscious choice.
Yeah, that's because he knows Laserbeak is the best soldier the Decepticons have. Then we have continual evidence of this in the next episode, or in this episode.
Like, woe Laserbeak be upon ye is like evergreen, truly.
But unfortunately, this poor Auto Scout, its life is not long, because apparently this is Corlonium crystal. That has a K in it, by the way. I didn't think it would, but it has a K. And they're basically just super duper powerful volatile energy crystals that if a robot touches them, they die instantly. And Starscream goes, "That's great. What if we trick the Autobots into going down there?" And Megatron says, "That would never work. Optimus Prime is too smart. But what if I were to build..."
I think you mean Floptimus Prime, as Starscream calls him, which is actually... We've had a lot of very fun nicknames from each other's side, like, insults from each other's side. Floptimus Prime is probably as good as it gets.
That's one of the
Optimus
best.
is in his flop era, and it's Starscream that comes up with it.
I mean, it's certainly the best one in this episode, because the one that Spike comes up with is Mega Rat, which is like, okay, that doesn't even...
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
We do, at some point later on in this episode, have to talk about Megatron's weird fixation on Spike. I'm getting, like, a little uncomfortable with this. Dog, he's 16.
He can't remember any of the Autobots' names, but he sure is thinking about Spike a lot. What's up with that, huh, bud?
Yeah, like, he knows Spike Witwicky by name. He knows who this kid is. What is your deal, dude?
What's going on with that, man? So, yeah, Optimus Prime would never be fooled into leading his Autobots into a certain death. But Megatron says, but what if I were to build... What if I were to build a clone of Optimus Prime and substitute it for my own? Delightfully
damn,
Megatron.
Crazy that they just have this technology. They just have this technology. Okay, like what?
So number one, yeah, he just lands yet another temporary base. It's a rocket that looks like a mountain. Number two, inside of the rocket that looks like a mountain is a clone synthesizer.
Oh wait, is this the episode, not the next one? Where no, it is the next one. Never mind.
Yeah, no, this is the one. They have the clone synthesizer.
Where Starscream's like into the rock wall, idiot.
Yeah, come on, man. we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a clone synthesizer, which is maybe where all those reflectors came from the first season. And yeah, he can just...
it could explain some of the color changes on the Seekers.
He's been secretly cloning Starscream this whole
Yeah,
time.
it's actually just like the nanites like not being stabilized, and they just swap between colors sometimes. It's fine.
So the Autobots show up to investigate the crazy energy readings, and they get into a big fight. And during this fight, the MVP, the only motherfucker on the Decepticon team worth two shits, Laserbeak, separates Optimus from the rest of the squad and shoots him off a cliff.
Laserbeak in these two episodes shows like fairly remarkable, like not only just like physical prowess, but like strength. Like there's a part where he's hauling Starscream somewhere.
Oh yeah, when Starscream is freaking out about being a sacrifice.
Yeah, he just like hauls Starscream in. He is like a tenth of Starscream's size.
Between Laserbeak's consistently strong showing in the G1 cartoon and that time Buzzsaw one-shotted Omega Supreme in the Marvel comics, I guess the bird
and the ex-wife from hell, Starscream need drinky.
Yeah, like the birds are actually the strongest Decepticons apparently. But he scans Optimus.
This is why they didn't put Buzzsaw in more. They knew that the two of them together would be too powerful. Yeah,
the Autobots
would be too powerful.
So Megatron scans Optimus and makes a new one. And I really love, Megatron's been talking about cloning Optimus this whole time. He's been talking about it, nothing but that. And so when the clone steps out of the clone synthesizer, Soundwave goes, "Oh my god, it's Optimus Prime." No! It's not!
I may be stupid. Bottom text.
And Megatron says, "No, you dumb fuck. It's my clone. I have..." And once again, remember when we were talking about how when he gave Torque all of his like dark desires or whatever, Torque was super excited about making Optimus his slave. What's he getting up to?
I'm telling you, we need to examine what is going on with Megatron here.
What's he getting up to with that clone?
I think he's just sexually frustrated.
Starscream ain't getting the job done.
I mean, listen, his pussy game's good enough to keep him alive, but, like, I think 4 million years of war maybe could have been avoided if they just fucked about it.
True. Apparently, so he makes one, and off screen, presumably, he makes another one for other purposes. And he sends.
He gets
the
to
clone
control
out.
both of them, so it's fine.
So yeah, he's got a control helmet, and I really like the animation error that happens where briefly he is animated with a black bucket helmet, as he was in his very first animated appearance in the G1 like toy cartoons, because I think that was like early concept art. He had a black helmet. This is also how he's pretty consistently drawn in the Marvel comics. So just some little extra trivia, but this was an error.
Just a little fun thing for you to take home with you.
Anyway, Fake Prime heads out there and he says, "All right, everybody, we have to retreat." And a lot of us go, "Oh, okay." And then I really love everyone leaves. The Decepticons retreat, the Autobots retreat, and then Prime crawls out of the hole and goes, "Hey, where the fuck did everybody go?
Where's my army?
Hello? Did y'all just fucking leave me here?" But no, they didn't fucking leave him there. And then we cut to the Ark, and Clone Prime is having trouble using Teletrain 1, and he keeps asking Bumblebee, "What's wrong with the computer?" And the only person there is Ironhide, and the Ironhide like looks around, and he goes, Prime goes, "Bumblebee, what's wrong with the computer?" And Ironhide says,
Yeah, are you
talking to me?"
Yeah, he's like, "Are you talking to me?" And Optimus is like, "Yeah, obviously."
Yeah, I meant to say Ironhide or whatever. Why is the fucking whatever this computer is called not working? And so, yeah, Megatron doesn't know the difference between Ironhide and Bumblebee.
I will say, there are points in this episode in particular where old Peter Cullen does not do a great job differentiating his Optimus and Ironhide voices.
No. That happened,
I was
think,
oh,
one
you
of the
really slid into Optimus there again.
That happened, I think, last episode, too. There were some parts
I noticed
where
it
Optimus...
way more this episode.
Yeah,
Because
sometimes Optimus got real southern.
Well, no, it's actually the reverse, I find, because
okay.
in this episode, so when there's two Optimi and no one knows who to trust, Ironhide's like, "All right, well, I'm taking over." So like he goes into like command mode, and as soon as Peter Cullen is in that command mode space again, it's like, "All right, now you're just doing Optimus." It's like, that's not Ironhide, that's just Optimus again. That's fine.
So this behavior, Ironhide's like, "You literally like changed the settings yourself this morning. Are you good?" And this causes Spike and Bumble. Oh, sorry. I seem to have misplaced my notes. Why? Okay. So we've been joking about Windcharger lately and how he keeps showing up in their lines.
By Windcharger, by the way, later on in this episode, Windcharger goes straight to hell in this episode.
But it's fine because he has rubber tires.
It's true.
Did they
he goes
forget?
to hell for robots specifically.
Did they forget who Spike's friend is? Because everything Windcharger does in this episode is exactly what Bumblebee would do. Like, he's just Bumblebee, but he's Windcharger.
Listen, they're both the same size. They're the same guys, right?
And, like, I'm not saying I don't appreciate Windcharger. I've always liked Windcharger. He has a cool power. I like his design. I like his voice. But I think they just forgot who Spike's friend is. So
I mean, it is quite possible. I'm not going to lie.
Bumblebee also not in the next episode, weirdly enough. He's on vacation. Anyway, maybe that's why this Megatron just has very poor object permanence. So when Bumblebee's away for a while, he forgets what he looks like. He's the red one, right?
No, that's Gears, idiot.
No, he's blue, but he's also red.
No, that's Cliff Jumper.
No, he's all red. Gears is red and blue. No,
Stupid.
That's Blue Streak. He's not blue, you idiot. He's silver.
He's gray.
Then why is he called Blue Streak?
Because he talks a lot. Too much.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't say anything. No one cares about him.
Who's on first? So
no, he's the one with the wings. So that's Prowl.
No, the one that turns into a plane. Powerglide? Who's that? We'll get to.
What? Wait, which? Yeah, we'll get to Powerglide. Here,
Incredible.
But it's like, no, that's every component of Superion. What?
Who? Who's that?
You know, his Devastator. What?
Oh, sorry. I have the scripts for several episodes ahead of now.
This really was like a little fun who's on first.
So before everyone can get suspicious, Optimus rings the doorbell of the Ark. He's outside knocking on their hello.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, why'd you guys leave me?
You forget me?" And the Clonelust Prime says,
Oh my god, they forgot.
You see, this is a secret
clever ruse.
A clone controlled by Megatron in order to fool you. We should kill him. And all of the Autobots other than Ironhide go, okay.
Yeah, and Ironhide's like, what?
Ironhide's like, hang on.
Ironhide is like, I cannot believe I'm doing this, but apparently I have to be the voice of reason, looking at Jazz and Prowl very pointedly.
They were all ready to blow Prime away.
Yeah, it's like, hey, real quick, has anyone considered that this could be the real Optimus Prime? And everyone, idiots that they are, was like, no.
We should probably figure out which one is which. Because obviously one of them is an evil clone, but we need to figure out which one. And I have the perfect solution. And you'd think, well, obviously, you just get them in 2 separate rooms and ask them stuff that only Prime would know. No, you dumb
you know that
fucking
Tumblr
idiot.
post was like, how was your day? It was fine. What would the other guard say?
So here's how they're gonna solve it.
Oh, by the way, did you ever watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
I did not, no.
So, there's like a crazy thing that happens. This is like the only episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch that I can actually remember. But there's a crazy thing that happens several seasons in that it is basically revealed that every witch is born with an evil twin.
What?
Yeah. Every witch is born with an evil twin, and they both think they're the good one. And they have to, like, prove that the other is the evil twin so that the evil twin can be, like, banished from society. And so, like, she has to, like, go to, like, do this. And, like it is a crazy thing. I have to Google this right now to make sure I'm not making it up. But, like, yeah, Sabrina Evil Twin episode. Season 3. She found out all Spellmans had evil twins. And, like, yeah, has to prove that she's, like, not the evil twin.
So
it's crazy.
Do they prove it by having a shooting contest? Because that's how they prove it here. That's clearly the way you prove when someone is, like, the evil twin. Is you just
so
have
it's
them
only
shoot
the
a rock.
I was wrong. It's not all witches. It's just the Spellmans.
That's somehow weirder.
But only the Spellman family members are born with evil twins. This is the family secret that allows the Spellman witches to use their witch's license after getting it. After every member of the Spellman family discovers the secret, they meet their twin for the first time, but soon discover that one of them is evil while the other is good. To discover which one is the evil witch, a variety of quizzes are done in order to determine who is the evil twin. The final test is conducted at a volcano. If the elected good twin doesn't dare to throw their evil twin into the volcano, it is proven that they are the good one. However, if they push their twin in, they are officially named the evil twin.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Anyway,
What
that's sort of
goes
what we have
on?
going on here.
You know, it kind of is, considering this is yeah, maybe they got Sabrina is like a 90s show, right? It was like early 90s.
Yeah, Sabrina's like a 90s show.
Well, they clearly ripped off this episode of Transformers because that's basically how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to do any of that. They're not going to do quizzes. They're not going to ask. They're just going to, like, shoot the fucking a rock to see who's better at shooting. And then they're going to have a race.
They, like, put up a very quick, like, baby Olympics, basically, to judge the Optimuses on their performances, which is like a crazy way to do that, because like theoretically, if it is a perfect clone, the physical abilities would be exactly the same.
Yeah, you don't want to judge it by how good it can shoot or later,
race. Yeah,
or
like
how fast it can drive.
Yeah, like that's just crazy.
Like, this is not how any, like, and of course, nobody can tell what's anything, because, like, this doesn't answer anything. But they draw the Autobots out into an ambush to both of the Primes go, which is very funny, and that's when Megatron says, I know. I'm going to reveal my coup de grace to you, Starscream. You know, we have to cement the fake Prime as the real one so that we can lead them into the hole. Which, by the way, remember, this whole stupid, convoluted plan, which has involved racing and a shooting contest. The plan is to make them go in a hole.
It's a good plan, Mara.
To trick all of the Autobots into going
in
a hole that kills
it's
them.
a good plan, Mara.
And none of them know what corlonium is, I guess. Like, Megatron and Soundwave figured it out instantly, but I guess Wheeljack and Ratchet are just dumb as a fucking bag of hammers. Anyway, he's like, all right, we have to make sure they believe it's the real Optimus. So we have to have him kill one of the Decepticons to prove he's not working with us. And Starscream says, that sounds great. Who are you going to pick? And Megatron says, I'm going to pick you. And Starscream, of course, runs away because he doesn't want to be...
Starscream looks Megatron straight in the eyes, puts up 2 fingers, and goes, peace.
Yeah, he runs away screaming and is chased down by Laserbeak. And this is spotted by Spike and Windcharger, who see him freaking out, going, no, no, no. And then they see him get dragged back into the Secret Mountain Fortress. So they're like, hey.
Kicking and screaming.
What the fuck is going on in there? So they sneak inside, and it's really funny. Megatron says, you didn't let me finish. I'm going to make a clone of you for him to blow up.
I love the way he says it. He was like, your cowardice prevented you from hearing the last part of my plan.
What is that post about the person having a dream about a Zen Pencils comic where it's like a guy?
Yes!
It's like Dr. Racist or something.
Yeah, it's stop being racist.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, patient, can I get Mr. Racist to the front? And it says, the full name is Stop Being Racist.
Yeah, everyone boos him, but actually his name was Stop Being
Racist.
That's what happened here.
Yeah.
And Starscream goes, oh, okay. So they make a clone.
And no, Starscream's like, actually, this is pretty hot.
Yeah.
He's like,
can I make 2?
Yeah, he's like, Megatron, I don't know if I've ever been this attracted to you, actually.
Stop. We're not doing the plan anymore. It's over. You made it weird. We're going home.
Oh no, Megatron doesn't get to say that. Again, Megatron is throwing rocks in glass houses in this one, if that's what he's trying to do.
My own clone.
We get to answer the age-old question, would you fuck your own clone?
Starscream says, yes!
Starscream's like, he's like, damn, I look good.
This is also a question answered in Transformers Animated.
And Prime. Listen, they keep here. My note is like, oh, sorry. I had the note here. I actually had was that this is really funny to directly follow Enter the Nightbird because they just keep replacing Starscream.
Yeah. So Windcharger and Spike
don't trust
get
anyone,
caught.
not even yourself.
That's right. Windcharger and Spike get caught. Windcharger gets dumped in the hole. So he's definitely dead for real. And Spike, gets kidnapped. And
again.
And Megatron knows way too much about Spike.
Sorry, this conversation is crazy charged for no reason.
Yeah. Tell us how it goes.
So, Spike, I cannot emphasize enough that Spike is 16. I really need everyone to keep that in mind as we go through this. Spike's like, oh, well, you caught me, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna get you, Mega Rat. And Megatron just looks at him and goes, listen to me, Spike Wickwiki. I'm whispering directly into your ear. I'm going to kill all your friends, and I'm gonna make you watch, and then I'm gonna kill you. And it's gonna be so choice. And Spike's like, okay, weird.
Now look who's making it weird.
Yeah, it is, again, just like, really weirdly it's like not even sexually, but it is genuinely like very weirdly personal.
Yeah, like, why do you have beef with this guy? Like
why are you beefing with this child online?
Well, yeah, there's a long history of arch villains for some reason beefing with 16-year-olds.
But this feels particularly pointed because the 16-year-old is not the protagonist.
No, he's
right?
He's still mad about that time he fired him in gun mode at the Decepticons. He's just fucking pissed about that shit.
That's the weird part about it. Is listen, there are plenty of manga in particular, right? With teenage protagonists where there's weird stuff going on between an adult villain. Mm-hmm. But Spike's not the protagonist of this show.
No.
The fact that Megatron has this weird fixation with this single human is it's weird. That is the word for it.
He's not even the one who does anything. He never does anything.
He's not even Chip. He doesn't even do anything.
Or Carly, who tried to bomb your fucking HQ. Spike is useless.
Or Astoria, who at least puts out.
Yeah, we'll ask Powerglide about that when he appears literally out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Later. So yeah, but now it's time for Starscream and Megatron to have their little fucking
Or
daytime
Rule, who
dinner.
also at least puts out.
That's right. It's time
And
for
we're getting to tracks really soon. I think we're getting to tracks next week.
Not next. Well, he definitely does appear next week because everyone appears next week.
Yeah.
Next time we're gonna have literally everyone in the season 2 toy line just pop into existence.
Hey, Perceptor time.
It's time. So Starscream and Megatron have their little
brains.
They have their little daytime dinner theater here, where the Starscream clone is like, I challenge Optimus to single combat, and Thundercracker goes, what the fuck are you talking about?
He goes, are you dense?
Are you stupid? But Optimus says, I accept. I will kill you, Starscream. And he does. And this, for some reason, the murder is what convinces the Autobots that this is the real one.
And like, it's such a like beat the audience over the head with a hammer way too, because everyone goes, wow, he killed Starscream. There's no way a tool of Megatron's would do that. All hail Optimus.
And so they're, all right, kill the imposter, and they're about to shoot the real Optimus, but then Windcharger drives out of the hole. The hole that was meant to kill him.
Well, before that, no, because what happens is they're like, okay, and the imposter is like, great, go there, and they go in the crystals, go in the crystals, and they're all moving towards the crystals, and they're like, yep, it's gonna be fine because this is the real Optimus, and he is telling us it's safe. And then Windcharger comes out of the crystals, and he's like, you're all going to die badly. And
they're like, Windcharger, why didn't you die badly? You were in there.
I have rubber. So he's like, these crystals are tasers that will kill you.
Yeah, like, apparently these crystals are so volatile and powerful, they can blow up the Autoscout from it just touching it. But apparently, if you just have rubber tires, you're completely insulated from their effects.
That's insulation, baby. That's how physics works.
Which, may I remind you, all of the Autobots have those because they all turn into cars, except for one, who we'll see very shortly, because after they gun down the imposter.
Oh, Powerglide, right? Yeah.
They gun down the imposter, and Megatron goes, "No, my beautiful sex bot. I mean, clone, Optimus Prime, that I wasn't planning on using anything else for."
Yeah, I have to say, like, the 3D printing of your crush is weird.
We have to go right now. No one ask any questions. So he lifts off in his stupid mountain rocket, and he throws Spike out of the fucking window, just in case. And of course, Skyfire isn't here, so I guess he's dead because no other Autobot can fly. Wait a minute.
It's Powerglide. Hey,
Okay.
You remember Powerglide, right?
So not only does Powerglide literally show up out of completely nowhere with no explanation at all, Warpath is also in the background of this episode. He doesn't say anything, but he's in the episode.
Who the fuck gives a shit about Warpath?
Bam zow. So this is
you remember Powerglide, right? And I'm Powerglide, right? I've been here the entire time.
So this is the big difference between the comics philosophy about introducing all of these new characters they made for the second season toy line and the shows. In the comics, they basically weren't like, oh, these guys are all like, we built new bodies and uploaded these guys like from a data bank on Cybertron to add more forces. That's what they said in the Marvel comic. In the show, they're just here. Like they've been here the whole time.
Listen, these writers were coming up with plots you couldn't even imagine.
They don't have time to introduce characters.
Yeah, you want them to figure out, between all the blow, a way to introduce 10 new characters? Go fuck yourself.
Which is really funny because they have to do this for all of the combiner teams. Actually, do get character origins and introductions. We'll see later. All of the combiner teams do. Everyone else, Nope.
Oh my god, it's almost swindle time.
Which, to be fair, it's like almost, it's like 25 characters or something who show up in season 2. There's a lot of new characters on both sides.
Well, there's like,
but especially the Autobots.
there's like a dozen alone between the Combaticons and the Stunticons.
Yeah, but like all of them, yeah. So in addition to all of these fucking combiner teams, they had to figure
Are
out
the
what to do
aerial
with.
bots season 2?
Yep, all of the combiner teams except for the
Defensor?
Technobots and the Terracons. No, the Protectobots do get a they get an introduction.
Really?
Their introduction is the last episode of the season, and also generally considered
yeah, okay.
the worst episode of all time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the only combiner teams that don't get introduced are the ones from later on. So that would be the Technobots, the Terracons, and the Predacons. They're all season
All right.
3
Well,
guys.
2 of those certainly don't matter.
No, no, they
One of
certainly
them,
don't.
one of them has a bit of juice.
One
Two
of
of them
turns into the coolest looking combiner ever. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
two are
What?
nothing.
Yeah, one of them does turn into Predaking. Predaking.
God, I want that
The-
Titan class Predaking so bad.
The others can die.
The others don't fucking matter.
Yeah, the others are nothing.
Anyway,
Technobots.
Powerglide's here. He saves Spike, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And the conversation that Spike and Optimus have at the end of this episode is so fucking awkward. Where he's like, "Hey, I'm glad you're back," and Prime's like, "Yeah, I'm glad to be me, although that was never me. So I guess I'm me, except maybe I'm not me. I'm confused." And then he pets Spike like a dog.
He does pet Spike like again, a lot of questions I have about how the Cybertronians actually view humans in the show.
Yeah.
I do think they see them as pets.
Here's the exact quote, because it's really funny. Is it really you, Optimus Prime? I mean, really? Yes, Spike. This time I am definitely me.
Definitely me.
Or
That's
I,
right.
myself.
Or myself.
Oh, whoever I am. Put her there, partner. And then
And then he pets him like a dog!
he still did get concussed. That wasn't an excuse. He did fall off a cliff and get concussed, I guess. That was true. That was a truth.
Oh
and
my
that's how the
God.
episode
This
ends.
is the greatest season of television ever produced.
This episode is very infamous for how fucking stupid it is. Like, trying to figure out the clone via a race. All the cloning synthesizer popping up out of nowhere, disappearing out of
Now-
nowhere. It's peak.
To be fair, the next episode should be more infamous for how fucked up it is. The next episode, which we are about to go into, is just genuinely fucked.
The core. Which, this is like the second time the Decepticons have tried drilling into the core, because I believe that's what they were doing in the Skyfire episode. But this time they have the
Yes.
Constructicons to build up a whole rig, so they're a little better at it. And they're, they're Constructicons.
The Constructicons are a fucking mess in this episode.
Yeah,
By
they're-
the way, Scavenger, like, it's
Scavenger.
like, Scavenger, get your shit together. and in the background, Hook's like, oh, I'm better than this. And then there's like a great moment with Mixmaster and Bone Crusher, or sorry,
Yes.
with Long Haul, rather.
Long
the
Haul says
Mixmaster-
his one line, which
Yeah,
is,
Long
I
Haul
fucking
says, like-
hate my job.
Yeah, it's like, I'm here, and then he shits all his shit out directly into Mixmaster, and Mixmaster's like, oh, but babe, you're such a good chemist. Anyway, check this shit out. And
I
just like
love-
spews all of it all over. The Constructicons are a fucking disaster.
I just love that that Mixmaster's like way of processing all of this is just you shove it into his ass.
Yeah, and then he
just-
shits it out.
And then he turns it all up. Yeah, Long Haul, of course. Long Haul's the most one note of the Constructicons of the TV show.
Say the line, Long Haul.
I hate my job. Yay. But we actually get a bit more of Scavenger's whole deal, because he, along with Bone Crusher, didn't really say or do anything in City of Steel. This time we actually get. So number one, Scavenger's thing is that he's like the dig guy. He's like he turns into an excavator, and that is his job. he has like he has like a geologic sense, and I just want to read. I want to read the because I want to read the bio little paragraph that TFWiki has for him because it's really funny. You can't help but feel sorry for Scavenger. He wants so badly to be liked and needed, to feel like a useful and valuable member of his team. His self-esteem is so low, he'd do just about anything to get the approval of others, but his simpering, doting eagerness to please just reinforces the other Decepticons' opinion of him as a worthless loser. He's constantly excavating everywhere he goes in the attempt to find something of worth and prove his value, but it's invariably just some piece of garbage or scrap he excitedly finds, and that just sets him up for more derision and mockery. If it wasn't for his shovel's unique ability to detect needed materials, Megatron and the others would likely have dumped the poor scrub long ago. Scavenger is sadly not the brightest tool in the shed. Damn, bro! Lay off!
It is Scavenger who dies in the comics, right?
No, it's Scrapper.
It's Scrapper, okay.
I
always get Scavenger and Scrapper mixed up.
They have very similar names and sort of similar alt modes.
Yes, exactly. Which is why. Hey, listen. If I'm going to get two Constructicons mixed up, these are the ones that are understandable.
No, it is Scrapper because he's the leader and gets shot in the head by Spike.
Right. And they need a new leader, which is why they force Prowl into their poly.
Kind of get a reverse core going on, which we'll learn what that means shortly. So the drill almost explodes immediately. And Megatron goes, "What the fuck are y'all doing? Hey, Mixmaster, go up topside and check out Scavenger's fucking geologic survey sensors because something's wrong." So they go up topside, and it just so happens. Oh wait, before that, we get an explanation for what stupid plan Megatron has this week. Because Starscream's like, "Hey man, this seems like this whole thing is about to blow any minute." Like,
so this is like one of the rare moments again where like Starscream actually gets to be a scientist.
Yeah,
and he's like at his desk and he's like, Megatron comes over to him and he's like, "Hey Megatron, love what you're doing here. Real quick though, we're all going to die. So what the fuck are you doing?"
If you tap the core of the planet, the planet ruptures because you have compromised its structural integrity. So if you do that, we all die. And Megatron says, "You fucking idiot. You didn't think I thought about that? Check this out." And this is where we get the line. He flies him out to this like fake hologram rock. And he goes, "Oh my God, you want me to fly right into this rock? You're a maniac." And it's like, it's just a holographic disguise. And behind it is a space bridge. Remember how much of a fucking ordeal building the space bridge was in season 1?
Go fuck yourself. It's fine.
They have, well, I guess they have the Constructicons now, so they can just pop those things out whenever. Before that, they had to deal with like what? Reflector was building the space bridge. I don't fucking think so. Anyway,
several reflectors were building the space bridge. They just kept popping those guys out.
Yeah, bring out the clone synthesizer. So yeah, that's the plan. They're gonna tap the Earth's core, which like. Yeah, you can just casually drill your way down to the Earth's core. It's fine. They're going to tap the Earth's core, and they're going to suck it dry. And that'll destroy the Earth, but it'll give them lots of energy.
They are going to give it the big suck.
They are going to give Mother Earth...
if it destroys the Earth, who gives a shit?
They don't care. They'll just leave. The Autobots are out for a Sunday drive. They're literally just hanging out. That is how they're introduced. They're not doing anything. They're just driving around. But they notice that someone has diverted a river nearby. Because like Sunstreaker goes, "Hey, there's supposed to be a river here. Where'd it go?" And then they see it has been diverted. And then they also see hanging out on the riverbank, like presumably, frolicking around, rolling around on top of each other or whatever, Mixmaster and Scrapper. And they get spotted and run back to the base.
Sunstreaker has a line here that I want to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sunstreaker is sort of the one who's, like, familiar with the area.
Yes.
And so they get into this, like, again, like, dry riverbed or whatever. And Sunstreaker's like, "There was a river here." And everyone else is like, "Are you sure about that?" And Sunstreaker's like, "Yeah." And, like, looks right at them and goes, "I wouldn't forget something that big and wet." That is the actual line, by the way. Not with that inflection, but those are the actual words. I just want to be very clear about that. Elbowing Prowl right in his line. I know about big wet things, am I right? You're fat pussy. Listen, I'm gonna get comments about that. It's not my line. I'm just saying it is my interpretation of the words, but like that, those are the words.
It's really hard to forget something that big and wet, says Sunstreaker. Anyway.
Yeah. Listen. Okay? All I can do is say what I heard.
And yeah, they follow them back. They find this weird little base thing. This drill station, and of course
you all love it.
And of course, Devastator pops out to give the Autobots a bad time, as always happens in any episode involving the Constructicons, and they get their asses whooped. So they're like, wow.
The Autobots are like, wow, what if we didn't believe in bodily autonomy?
Yeah, so they go back to our Teletran 1 tells them, hey, if the Decepticons tap the core, this whole planet is fucked. And so they're like, we should probably stop that, but we have no way of dealing with Devastator. We should probably
make Devastator our slave.
They're like, we just don't have any way of dealing with Devastator. And then Chip fucking Chase rolls up, future mad scientist apparently, and he goes, hey.
Yeah, no, he's doing an internship with Dr.
Arkeville.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes, hey, I've got these things called Dominator discs that can override just Devastator's
hey,
logic
Chip,
circuits.
Quick question: why do you have those, and why did you call them that?
Yeah, number one, the name is pure supervillain shit. Number two, this is literally what Dr. Arkeville was doing to humans. This is literally.
Right, but robots aren't people, so it's fine.
Apparently the Autobots don't think so, because they have no questions, no concerns. Like, yeah, we can totally brainwash Devastator.
This is... I have to be so clear that this is presented as a completely, moral and ethical decision.
It's it's a fucking 80s kids cartoon. It's fine, but it's so fucking crazy to be like,
but
yeah.
it is so deeply not fine that it is still crazy that it is presented as being that way.
This is Bombshell's whole thing is this, and he's one of the biggest bad guys. He's a little freak. Everyone hates him. But apparently, the Autobots, they can do it no problem. They can do it just fine with their once again, Dominator discs. That is an evil gadget. That is an evil gadget.
Again, all I can hear is John Cena's voice in my head. They call themselves Decepticons. That doesn't raise any red flags for you.
Cerebro shells sound bad. Those definitely sound bad. Not as evil as Dominator discs.
There's there's genuinely no way to get around what that is.
None of the Autobots are like, hey, why did you?
The only way this could be okay would be in a consensual kink scenario, which this is very clearly not.
And then, like I said, this sort of shit does happen in IDW, except it's evil. It is weird and evil and fucked up.
I would not have an issue with this if it were being presented as a bad thing, but it's no, this is a perfectly normal, fine thing to do, and it's what?
IDW Prowl or something definitely would use these, but that's because he's a really fucked up, morally dubious character.
Morally dubious? No, he's just a bad dude. I don't think there's anything morally dubious about Prowl. I think he just sucks.
So they hatch a plan. They need to put these discs on all of the Constructicons separately, and then when they transform into Devastator, they can enslave their minds.
But these are the good guys, folks, so it's fine.
So that's what they do. They freeze the river, which causes all of the cooling on the core drill.
Hey, remember when we froze the river last time?
Once again, irreparable. I mean, I guess the Decepticons did already divert it, so the ecological damage has already been done, but this is just further. But yeah, they cause the Constructicons to freak out. They sneakily hit all of them with the Dominator discs, and then when they attack the base, I forgot about this. This is crazy. Okay, so the commando team gets in there, they do it, and they extract, and Starscream has them all fucking in his sights, ready to pull the trigger, and then Megatron walks up and puts his hand on his arm and says, "No, don't do it." I have a plan. And Starscream says, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like,
He
the
calls him a
crazy thing-
traitor.
Again, not to, like, be a Starscream fan, but it is actually crazy the number of times in the show that, like, Starscream could have ended this war if Megatron had just let him pull a trigger.
No, I have a stupid, overcomplicated plan. And he does. So he just, no, it's fine. Just let them take control of Devastator. It's perfectly fine to do that. I actually want them to do that. My Megatron is slowly becoming just Vegeta. It's slowly morphing into Vegeta.
I mean, the line between Frank Welker and Chris Sabat is just paper thin.
That's right, Starscream. Mondo cool.
Kakarot.
So they do indeed dominate Devastator's mind and turn him into a good guy.
That's the verb for it, folks.
They're the Dominator discs.
And they call them Dominator Autobots. That's what we call them, folks. Dominator Autobots. They call her Hetero Jessica.
So Devastator fucking goes apeshit. He kicks over there's a shot. I don't know if it's the Decepticons, the Autobots, or there's a shot I really liked where it's just Devastator kicking them over like they're a bunch of toys. It's really, really good.
I mean, he just goes apeshit on everyone.
That's not until later when when they
break his brain.
Yeah, when they mind break him. So they have Devastator put all the Decepticons in the cave, and they say, well, they don't have any water, so they can't drill, so they're fucked, and we can just kind of go in there and kill them all whenever. So why don't we just hang out for a little bit and take Devastator back to the Ark? And in the cave, Starscream says, well, Megatron, you fucking idiot, look what has happened now. We're fucked. And Megatron says, but that's where you're wrong, because I built an anti-Dominator remote that will free Devastator, and also I saved a bunch of water just in case we were cut off from the river so we could keep drilling.
Getting kicked in the balls is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Literally. This is, normally I applaud you and Megatron for actually having a B plan, but this is just stupid all the way down. Now I've got some concerns about this next scene.
Oh, do you?
Because we cut back to the Ark, and we have Hook doing some surgery on Jazz, and everyone's like, wow, he's so good at surgery, and Hook's like, you're right. However, the way that they're doing this is that Hook separates from Devastator, who's just sitting there without a head and just like sitting completely still and silent.
It is very funny.
Well, Hook does this.
It is very funny that Hook is the head as opposed to Scrapper.
I mean, that just says who's the smartest, I think.
I know, but like, again, it's also just like funny that Scrapper is the head of the team and not Hook.
Do you think Long Haul complains about being the foot?
I think Long Haul complains about everything all the time.
But yeah, I just the shot of like the fact that like so that like I guess Devastator can just separate one at a time, but also like you're not letting them operate as individuals. That's fucking crazy.
It's actually a racket that okay. I'm trying to think if I actually want to say this. I'm gonna say this and then maybe ask you to delete it. But it's actually a racket so he can get handicap spacing.
No, that's some shit the Stunticons would do. Not the.
That's true. That's true. That's a swindle move. That's not Combaticons, not Stunticons. That's a swindle move.
Yeah, that's Swindle's idea. So
okay, I feel okay about saying that about Swindle.
Yes, I think none of the Stunticons are smart enough to pull that kind of.
Oh yeah, who's gonna do it? Dead End? Fuck off.
Dead End just wants to fucking kill himself.
Yeah, Dead End's doing it, but for real. He's the robot. He's like, ladies love my sharp, pointy nose. What are you doing? This time I'm really gonna do it.
Yeah, he's like, well, when I'm happy, I say, I love driving so fast on the road.
Yeah.
When I'm sad, I say, this time I'm
really gonna do it.
But, the drilling is continuing, so then I go out there. But double apparently Megatron can just see through Devastator's eyes anyway. This also confirms whether that Hook is a better medic than Ratchet is.
Yeah, Hook is, like, a really interesting character who is, like, pretty underutilized in G1, but I love Hook very much. And he, like, very much is a proto-knockout.
Yeah, effete voice, medical expert.
And also, like, medic who is not a medic by trade, but, like, put into that position because it's the closest thing they have to one.
The only thing he's missing is a big bear boyfriend.
Right, he has 5.
Okay, they're all the same size. That doesn't count. Unless you count Devastator.
I mean, listen, when Devastator masturbates, is that sex?
I think we were having this conversation. I was having this conversation with someone in the Discord. I was like, does Devastator count as a member of the Polycule separately, even though he is all of them at once? Is he a separate entity?
Right.
Which is really, really getting into the combiner thing.
But it's also,
deeper than it usually
I mean,
is.
that is a similar but different question.
Yeah.
Does Devastator jerk off, and if so, is that an orgy?
Only Prowl can answer that question. Anyway.
And no one wants to ask him because he's a fucking cop.
No one wants to talk to him or hang out with him.
Why do you think he has so many shitty exes?
Everyone who talks to or hangs out with Prowl does it under duress.
Or under divorce.
Yeah, or under divorce. So, of course, Megatron hits the button and makes Devastator not good. But then Wheeljack's like, wait, I'll just double boost the Dominator disc. And Chip says, hey, if you do that, his brain will break. And Wheeljack says, whatever.
Damn, that's crazy, Chip. It seems like that may be bad technology that you've introduced.
I think maybe if your Dominator discs have the capacity to, like, completely destroy someone's mind, you probably shouldn't use that.
Nah.
Anyway, it totally destroys Devastator's mind, and he starts trying to kill everyone.
What an unexpected twist.
And of course, right as the drill hits the core, he smashes the drill control so they can't stop it from drilling into it. And so the planet starts to blow up. And Megatron goes, well, time to leave. So all of the Decepticons try to go to the space bridge. And then Devastator just comes up through the floor of the space bridge and destroys it. And
everyone's like, well, fuck.
Well, shit. And I love... All right, so now it's like they have to work together to not die. And Megatron... Optimus basically tells Megatron, hey, give Wheeljack your stupid fucking remote, asshole. We need to fix the Constructicons so they can maybe stop the drill. And Megatron goes, like, what is the fucking line? I only do this for the benefit of my Decepticons. It grieves me that you may also profit.
Is it profit or benefit?
It's profit.
Okay.
Profit by not dying. So... yeah, they basically free Devastator from the mind control, and he jumps down into the shaft to deal with the drill. There is the Constructicon team moment where, like, someone goes like, if this is the end, I'm happy I was a part of the team. And Scrapper says, like, don't get fucking squishy on me. We're not Scrap yet. We gotta stop this drill. I thought that was just a nice little Constructicon group moment. We rarely get those. So they stop the drill. But I really like that before they stop the drill, Megatron just fucks off just in case. He just leaves. Yeah. And when Devastator pops back out, he asks, where'd Megatron go? And
and everyone's like, he's a fucking coward and he ran away. And Devastator's like, no, you're wrong. He's cool and strong.
I'm going to follow him forever. And he flies out. And then Chip fucking Chase has the gall.
Genuinely, how dare he? I'm going to
be like,
slam dunk this kid into a basket.
I'm gonna do that. That scene from Mac and Me is going to happen to him, and I'm gonna be the one to do it. So he's like, I kind of hope Devastator would become an Autobot for good. And I was like, why? Why would he do that?
I wish our brainwashing had stuck. Go fuck yourself.
Once again, it's just Devastator he cares about. It's not any of the they don't consider the Constructicons as like a unit. They just see the big guy and they're like, we want that. And like, why would he do that? You brainwashed him. When he's not brainwashed, he'll probably remember like, man, you guys fucking brainwashed me. I'm not working for you. And he's like, it's probably just a dumb old dream. And then Optimus says, hang on to your dreams, Chip. The future is built on dreams. one day your mind control will work and you'll be a fucking like horrible science overlord to the entire world.
Yeah, like I said, Archiville's hiring.
This episode's so weird. This is so fucked.
I can't believe this isn't more famous than it is.
Like, the plan is bog standard Megatron bullshit. Once again, it's basically just the same plan from Fire in the Sky. But, like, the Dominator discs make this really weird.
It is great. Like, genuinely so, like, dark-sided.
It should be just as infamous as Enter the Nightbird, but it isn't. I never hear anybody talk about the core. But yeah, that's the core, and we're about to get into the real shit. Like I said, next episode, we're going to introduce every Season 2 character ever all at once. But I think there's going to be a little break between then and now. Is that correct?
There is going to be a 2-week break between then and now, yes.
So we will have to wait, and then we'll meet all of our new friends, like Trax, and Inferno, and Smokescreen, and Grapple, and Hoist, and Warpath, and Sea Spray, and Beachcomber, and Thrust, and Dirge, and Ramjet. Holy shit, there's so many guys.
And the Stunticons.
Not yet. We have to wait a little longer because they
Okay.
all get their own episodes.
Got it.
Like I said, they all actually have origin stories.
Right, the Gestalts do. Right.
None of the other ones do.
Did you say Perceptor? Because Perceptor.
Yeah, Perceptor will also just show up
Yeah.
and be in one of the funniest fucking episodes of all time. But that'll be in a couple of weeks from now. Until then, we have questions.
We sure
About
do.
we have questions about the Autobots' morality, but our listenership also has questions about the episode that they sent in for us to talk about.
Our first one comes from Aurora Cosmos, like the UFO. How would you have solved the Optimus imposter problem?
I mean,
Like,
I don't see how they would have.
The normal way.
Yeah, you just get them in two different rooms and ask them. There's no way that Megatron knows any of the actual stuff. Like, you just ask them, hey, do you remember the battle of Tetrahex and what you did on that day? And you just go,
This is a very easy problem to solve.
And you don't solve it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you do have them play Twister or something. Optimus hasn't hooped yet, so we can't have them have a basketball like one-on-one.
That's right.
Then we know because Megatron can't hoop. There's no way.
White bots can't jump.
Oh, speaking of which, did you notice the white backpack Optimus had through the entirety of the core?
I do not know.
Oh,
I don't
that's
pay
why.
attention to the show.
Oh, that's right. It was an ACOM. It was an ACOM episode, and they have a habit of continually using weird off-model things. So whenever you see Optimus with a white backpack, it's an ACOM episode. I don't know why they use that, but they do.
Cog's most loyal soldier Chet asks, what are these puppet homunculi that Megatron uses made of? I think just normal metal. Steel.
They're just steel, concrete. Anybody see that fucking tire fire of a movie Megalopolis? It's really funny.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Yes,
I was gonna
it's
say,
really funny.
Mushroom.
Yeah, I presume. I mean, they built the fucking Dinobots out of just random bullshit they found. So, like, why not?
Can we have a moment of silence for Soundwave's awful son that he hates and sent to go get blown up? That's not his son. If anything, it's his like pet rat.
Yeah, like it's just he probably has like a billion of those. They're all.
That's one of the like the bomb detecting, the landmine detecting rats. It's one of those.
Makes it even sadder. It's a cute little rat. I wonder if it's just like a bomb detecting Roomba.
I'm sorry I made you sad.
A Roomba can get blown up, and that's fine. But a rat is cute.
If it helps, the rats are very good at their job and don't get blown up.
Okay, well that's good.
For the most part.
For them. Oh.
Aurora asks, who in the G1 cast are amazing at social deducting games? Who sucks at it? They're all terrible.
The Autobots. Okay. No, Spike and Windcharger and Ironhide at least have enough to be suspicious. Nobody else.
The fact that Prowl and Jazz immediately get on board with this is reprehensible. Frankly.
They need to be fucking demoted. You are supposed to be my tactician and my security chief, and you were fooled by this fucking...
Red Alert! Sorry, I just remembered Red Alert and Inferno.
If Red Alert was here, he would have locked that shit down.
Oh, we're gonna get to Red Alert and Inferno.
Yeah.
Yes.
If Red Alert had been here at this point, this shit would never have happened. He would have never allowed this shit to go down.
Oh, Red Alert, you genuine psychopath.
Weaponized paranoia. Yeah, the Autobots are all terrible at it. By the way, I liked when it felt like Megatron naming all of the Autobots when he told them to roll out at the end of the episode was like him like proving up points. Like, I know everyone's names. Starscream was like, how could you mix up Ironhide and Bumblebee? Bumblebee's like 1/3 his height and yellow.
The Autobots all look the same. I'm not racist. They just look the same.
They're all cars. How can you tell them apart?
Starscream's like, geez, even I'm not that bad. Geist asks, who was the little guy Soundwave ejected to investigate the crystals, and how many more secret little guys does he have? I mean, we answered this.
More secret little guys. More guys will show up. Like we said, Ratbat will appear shortly. I think he's the only other one who's in the show. I think
he's the only one who hasn't shown up, yeah.
We don't get Overkill, whatever the Stegosaurus
one is called.
Oh my god, we're going to
get Blaster!
Yeah, Blaster's going to show up.
And his shitty kids!
There's a bunch more Cassetticons that never made it into the show that honestly are kind of cool, and I wish they did, but they never do.
Oh man, I'm so excited for next week now.
You keep saying next week.
Well,
next month.
Next episode. I mean, it's 2 weeks. Whatever.
Yeah, but it will be next month.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're the kind of like pedantic person who tells people before going on Christmas break, see you next year.
You are correct.
Yeah. I got your number. Chet asks, which Decepticon stole Scrapper's inhaler? Probably one of the other constructors. Probably Long Haul.
Oh, yeah. Scrapper was like wheezy this episode. He has a couple of lines.
Hey, who are those guys monitoring the drill while Devastator was outside?
Oh, God, I didn't even see. Were there some fucked up ACOM guys? Oh, my God.
Maybe. I
Wait, no! Wait, were the Constructicons monitoring the drill?
I think it was both. I think it was, they just, like, had Devastator outside, but also it was the Constructicons inside.
Classic. Do you remember when, in like, the fun publication stuff, this might not be your wheelhouse, but when... during the like post Transformers Cybertron era, when they were trying to make Unicron like a multiversal singularity, every single continuity inconsistency was explained by it was the Unicron black hole that did it. It just warps space-time around it.
It's not my wheelhouse, but you have talked about this before.
This can just be explained with they just used the cloning synthesizer.
100%. Geist asks, was Powerglide even in the rest of the episode, or did he just manifest at the end there?
He literally just shows up.
Yeah, no, he's just there.
And everyone's like, yay, Powerglide.
But, Mara, did you ever watch Buffy? Were you like a Buffy person?
I watched a couple episodes, but I never really was a Buffy head.
So in season, I think 5 is when they introduced Dawn. And Dawn is Buffy's little sister. And literally, like, this is the entire plot point of Dawn, is that she just shows up, and the show is asked, like, yeah, you remember Dawn, right? And it turns out, like, that's, like, a big thing about her character, is that she was, like, put there, and then everyone else's was, like, mine's was memory wiped to, like, have her be there the entire time.
That's what happened with Powerglide.
Yeah. But, like, that's gonna be with everyone, is that, you remember these guys. They've always been here. Mm-hmm. We've always been at the castle.
We've always lived in the Ark.
Yeah. Chet asks, so Optimus says mind control's A-okay as long as it's the Autobots doing it? Yes. Like, straight up yes.
Mm-hmm. It's fine when we do. Much like how it's fine when I make a dirty joke. But when Audrey does it, it should be scolded. When the Autobots mind control someone, it's fine. When Bombshell does it, it's sick and evil.
I am just going to keep calling you the People's Princess. This is like bullshit. I will say. Yeah, you can keep crucifying me. That's fine. I'm Jewish. I'm used to it. Yeah. What now? How you feel about it now? Jet Name Stealing Faye asks, what's the philosophical difference between a clone and a doppelganger? Clones are created.
Yes. Doppelgangers are, like, basically fae.
Yeah, they're supernatural. Doppelgangers are supernatural. They're changelings.
And they are generally malevolent.
Yeah.
Clones, it depends on the
Clones are made in a lab.
And they can be malevolent, but it all depends on what purpose they are made for.
I need to recruit this polycule into my army of brightly colored haired people to go kill Dragon God King Guy or whatever. What advice would you give to help me do so? I'm not sure what this is referencing, Veer.
No, I don't. I'm mystified.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Do you think these episodes played out differently in the timeline where Starscream was replaced by Nightbird? I mean, yes, because, again, the plot is still just replacing Starscream.
Yeah, and also that it would have played out very differently because all the Autobots would be dead because Nightbird would have killed them all.
Right, because Nightbird would have killed them all. Hey, Bine asks, how long has Megatron had a real doll 3D printer? Did he get it specifically because he lost Nightbird in a previous episode? And I got through that in one try, and I want everyone to respect that.
That's why he got it. Look, he missed those aftermarket modifications.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, I want to hear the full sentence that you're about to put out. Again, People's Princess over here. Is the only problem with the Dominator discs the branding? Yeah.
No. Okay, the branding is bad. They are still mind control devices.
Right,
even if they were called
but it's the good guys doing mind control, so it's fine.
Yeah, I guess it would. If it wasn't called that, it wouldn't be as noticeable because it would just be another stupid gadget that backfires, which is like every other week. The fact that they are called Dominator discs is really evil coded.
Yeah. Art of Freedom and Liberty
They
discs.
they look evil. They look evil. They're like black shurikens.
I love this. We're doing freedom fries here. Hey, Bine, it's really good. Art of Freedom and Liberty discs, the result of Wheeljack being left unsupervised with the grenade that made the evil Autobots good again. Would mind control grenades be better? Is Chip going to sell the Liberty discs to Lockheed Martin? He is, but you can't be mad at him because he's a trans dude.
He just never told anybody where he worked. He
only got the job because his family member works there. So it's not even that he super believes in Lockheed Martin or everything. It's just that, he's a Nepo baby at Lockheed Martin. My God, what a crazy chain of events that was.
Yeah, God. I mean, it was so long ago internet time that probably nobody knows what we're referencing, but it was so wild. It was
please, genuinely, if you don't know what we're addressing, the instigating incident for this was a short story that is phenomenal called I Sexually Identify as a Attack Helicopter, which was written by a trans woman. And please do yourself a favor and read the story. If nothing else, don't look at the discourse around it because it was so stupid, but
it was remarkably stupid.
Yeah.
And one of the main movers of that discourse turned out to be
a Nepo baby. A Nepo baby trans dude working at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, who wrote YA fiction.
And bad YA fiction. Whatever, it's
bad
fine.
YA fiction. But yeah, it's important to note, Wheeljack Isaac-Joyce here. Wheeljack did not have anything to do with this one. This is a Chip Chase original. And he will be selling it to Lockheed Martin.
How did ACOM get so many Devastator episodes without learning how to draw them right or even consistently wrong? That's the ACOM promise, baby.
Devastator will look completely different in every single shot. I'm pretty sure he literally does go between, because, G1 Devastator has basically two designs. He has the visor and he has the two distinct eyes. And I'm pretty sure in every ACOM episode, it's just shot different.
Coil, resident Autobot Rail Cannon asks, do you think the Greater Seattle Polycule would accept Devastator into the fold? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Not the Combaticons, but Devastator, yes. Because not only are they all a polycule, they're trade unionists.
So there are a few extra Constructicons at the moment, and they only need 5 to form the Gestalt. Well, technically, there's only 1 extra Constructicon. There's 6 of them. My question is, if all of them form Devastator, what extra stuff would he have? Dick.
Yeah.
Long Haul is the dick.
no, long haul is the balls.
Just one. Just one ball.
I hate being Devastator's Uniball. This sucks.
Megatron stated that Starscream's a bad actor, but also relies on that bad acting to fulfill his master plan to have the Autobots eat rock candy that makes you explode. Is he lying about Star's acting chops just to piss him off or to gaslight him? I mean, like, Starscream does a pretty decent job in this episode, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I think that comment was just petty. Like
yeah, I mean, they're
Starscream,
just the twits with each other.
Yeah, like he was just being a bitch. He knows Starscream's a decent actor, at least decent enough to fool the Autobots. Which, to be fair,
low bar to me. Yeah. Decepticon Ruby asks, should there be doppelgangers anonymous for all the clones, fakers, and mimics from this exact episode plot in every 80s and 90s cartoon? What is their group therapy sessions like? I imagine it's probably something like the Bad Guys Anonymous from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. That would be fun. That would be it's like the fucking the Bart Simpson and Chris Griffin therapy session comic, but it's all the fucking evil clones and doppelgangers. Throw Makeshift from Prime in there too.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. It's just Clayface from Batman, but he's playing all the roles. He keeps shapeshifting into everyone else.
Yeah.
And our last question, also from Sabrina, is Fake Optimus sentient, or is he A-okay to blow to hell?
Well, Megatron thinks he's A-okay to blow, but it's important to note we know this is not sentient because Megatron directly controls him with his gay little helmet. So, like, this is just a drone. This is not... There's no question about it, like with Nightbird. This one's just like... It's just...
sexy drone that can do whatever Megatron wants.
Let me see what's under that mouth plate.
Oh, ooh. I don't like that at all. I don't know that you're going to keep your constituents after that one.
What that trailer do?
Nothing, leave me alone.
It disappears when I transform.
Yeah, exactly. It goes into subspace. And no, not the hot subspace either. Not the sexy one, Megatron.
Did someone say subspace? No, Gears, shut up.
Wait, Optimus has subspace. Wait, did someone say Optimus and subspace in the same sentence? Because, hey, that's what I've been trying to do for 4 million years, if you know what I mean.
Hilita1 would like to join the chat.
True. Men get pegged. Oh, all right.
Well,
we've lost all goodwill anyone has had for either of us at this point. We've been so noxious.
We're burning bridges. We're saying whatever.
Support our upcoming Patreon, folks.
Optimus goes into subspace. Megatron made a sex doll. Long Haul turns into Devastator's nuts. We've been Prime Cuts. You can follow us on Blue Sky at Prime Cuts Pod, or block us on Blue Sky at Prime Cuts Pod.
Yeah, for $8,000 a month, buy our silence.
Join our Discord to scream at us about how nasty we are. Yeah, probably gonna get a Patreon spun up here over the break, or at least try to start doing that. Look out for that. And hey, we got a lot of guests lined up for the second half of this little season 2
all
Summer of
who
Sunbow.
are far less foul than we are.
Yeah, we'll try. I was gonna say we'll try to behave ourselves. I make no promises.
Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna say I'll try.
They're gonna have to get into
That's not my brand.
They're gonna have to get into the noxious crystal pit with us and talk about Devastator's Uniball.
And there's the name of the episode, folks.
Well, I don't have any other things to plug right now. How about you? You go.
I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Optimum Prime. That's my funny robot internet joke. You can listen to the other podcast I do called Pot of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been cast in, and I'm the script editor for radio drama called Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, which you can find the pilot for at lydiadisappears.com, and season 1 is in active production right now and will be releasing later this year. And sometimes I do Star Trek themed drag, and you can find that stuff at Maxwell Warp. I did go to the Gay Met Gala yesterday, which was like a wild experience.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And if you know where to find me, Bisky, cycle onto the 5 at the end of it. You know how it is. You know how it be out here in these streets with Devastator's Uniball. Till next time.
That where you are in these streets with Devastator's Uniball? Is that your official party line right now?
I'm hanging out with Long Haul. Me and Long Haul are.
Yeah.
I bet actually he's probably not fun to drink with. He just complains about everything all the time. Nobody wants to hang out with Long Haul because
it's like Huffer 2.0.
Yeah, except I don't think Long Haul's quite as
no one is as annoying
politically
as Huffer.
Noxious as Huffer, who has been unpersoned at this point, never appears again. Anyway, until next time, I am going to oh God, what do I even say? We've said so much horrible shit. I don't want to riff on any of it.
Yeah. No. Commit to the bit. Whatever bit it is, commit to it.
I'm going to sell these Dominator discs to the CIA, transform and roll out.
I'm going to pray to brainwashing sticks, transform and rolls out.
Peach.
The Transformers.